Germany, also, they're getting set to welcome in the new year. Crowds gathering around the Brandenburg Gate, once the symbol of division in Germany, now a site of celebration.
And how can we take you to Europe without taking you here? This, folks, is the City of Lights, and boy, does that match that name tonight. This is shots from Paris as it happens, midnight, about to strike.
And back to Rome now, and to the Vatican, where they're getting ready to experience the papal address of the Pope. There he is, the Holy Father, Pope John Paul II.
CS, experience the clear alternative to cellular. And by your Dade Broward Nissan retailers.
Live from downtown Miami, the City of Miami presents the 60th Annual Orange Bowl Parade. Magic City Millennium. Now, here are your hosts, NBC6 anchor Jackie Nespral and meteorologist Roland Steadham.
Good evening, everyone. It is New Year's Eve, 1999, and we are just hours away from the turn of the century. I'm Roland Steadham, and we are coming to you live right now from beautiful Biscayne Boulevard in downtown Miami.
And I'm Jackie Nespral. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, it's that time of year again. The City of Miami presents the Orange Bowl Parade.
Section of 10th Street and Ocean, a lot of excitement building, and everybody at Miami Beach's finest. The Miami Beach Police Department says they are Y2K compliant. They are ready. There were no major incidents at all, and only a couple of minor arrests today. But everybody's wondering what the three big initials stand for. What are those initials?
Y. 2. K.
What was that?
Y. 2. K.
Okay, Y2K. For those who don't get it, Y stands for year, 2, well, stands for nothing. It's the number 2, and K stands for the Greek kilos, meaning 1,000. Y2K, year 2000. Nice job, guys. South Beach is definitely on fire tonight, even more so than usual.
And we'll keep an eye on the Vatican to make sure that we hear the Pope. Brandenburg Gate in a unified Berlin for the first time since the end of World War II.
Europe. Let's take you back now to South Florida, if we possibly can, and you'll be able to see some of the pictures as the parade starts to wind its way through downtown Miami. This, of course, Biscayne Boulevard and the King Orange Jamboree. It usually begins with Miami's finest escorting some of the floats and some of the parades, and that seems to be what is taking place as we speak right now. Our own festival, so to speak, right here in the good old USA.
All the crowds there in anticipation, and now it is kicking off. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our special coverage. I want to get you live out right there to that big downtown tradition. 7's Brian Andrews is live in all the action for us. Brian.
Making its way all the way down Biscayne Boulevard right now. Passing us is the City of Miami Fire Rescue, and following that is a troop of bicyclists. This parade is going to last for the next 2 hours.
Santos, CBS 4 News.
You look beautiful there, Stacy. And from Miami, we head north to Broward County, where a huge party is also set to take place in Fort Lauderdale.
That's right. CBS 4's Jack Hambrick is up there. He's joining us live to see if the people in Fort Lauderdale can top the party here. Jack.
Angela, Steve, tens of thousands of people are expected to flood downtown Fort Lauderdale, all in the Riverwalk area tonight, and the crowd is just beginning to gather right here at Bouvier Park, where they're going to have some live music, food. There will be some other events, also some rides for the kids as well, and you can't beat the price. It's all free. Preparations underway in Bouvier Park. It's part of the Millennium celebration.
From NBC6, this is an Experience 2000 update.
Hello, everyone. Tony Segreto along with Jennifer Volpe. Downtown Miami is not the only place hopping tonight.
Certainly not. In fact, Rome, Paris, and Berlin have just ushered in the new year, and right now you're looking at South Beach, where it's buzzing. A live look at Ocean Drive. The sun is now setting, and the sizzling street party is getting underway.
And further up the beach, another celebration is taking shape. This is a live look at Dania Beach, where hundreds will be ringing in the new year. But, of course, the biggest celebration is expected on South Beach. NBC6 reporter Ari Azer is there live. Ari?
Tony, from our perch up here looking over Ocean Drive, we're watching our own parade here, the parade of partiers
And I'm Julia Yarbo, live on Dania Beach. Take a look behind me. This is the stage preparation for a night of new beginnings. The city of Dania Beach sponsoring a beach party this evening.
And of course, it's not a party on South Beach without some celebrities, right? That expected to be taking place tonight at the Versace mansion. Donatella Versace is hosting a party. Among the guests, Madonna, not to mention who knows how many celebs will be hitting these South Beach nightclubs tonight. Security out here, a big issue, of course. We understand there's anti-terrorist teams and hazmat teams out here on the beach, not to mention tons of fire rescue, tons of cops, just to make sure everybody out here has a great time, everybody's safe, and everybody can say Happy New Year. See you guys later. Live on South Beach, I'm Belkys Nerey.
Not just yet, Belkys, but we'll certainly get back to you when the magic moment happens.
And believe it or not, there's one party that's even bigger going on in our time zone, and that is Times Square in New York City.
Yeah, this is the party of all parties, and Alisyn Camerota's standing by there. There has been a big concern about terrorism in that area. Alisyn, take it away.
Yeah, there have been actually, but tonight the security measures are so tight here. There are actually 7,000 uniformed New York City cops patrolling the area of Times Square. There's also another 1,000 that are undercover cops, and they are sort of milling through the crowd.
Thanks very much, Jack. I just want to give people a quick sense of where we've been. Here's the international date line. This is where we started today. This is where the new century began in New Zealand, Tonga, and Kiribati. And on the USS Topeka, if you were here this morning, you remember it was an American submarine under the international date line who first greeted the new century. And we've moved all across Asia now and across much of Western Europe and through Bethlehem and Cairo and now Berlin and Rome and Paris, London to come, Rio de Janeiro to come, and all of the United States to come. The celebration on the easternmost part of the United States will occur in Newfoundland, and I'm not sure how long that is from now. We've got so many clocks around here, but I hope you'll stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Take it away.
Indeed, Rick, you started us off with those fabulous pictures from Paris just a short while ago, and that would indicate that in some corners of the globe, people are already celebrating the year 2000 from those large-scale, epic-like events.
The police motorcade and the fire engines have already come through. Now it's time for the marching bands, and of course, the flags, waving the flags. A lot of people here along the parade route. We're actually down here in the cheap seats where you don't have to have a ticket, but I think it's been a sluggish start here, and actually a sparser crowd than they really expected. A lot of people obviously stayed home for fear that there might be some trouble here. Now, look at this. There's a little added bonus. That's the Freedom Tower, and at 6 o'clock they lit it up. It has not been lit since the Miami News was housed in there, and now they have it lit in a beautiful red, white, and blue. Obviously some patriotic colors, since that was a processing station for immigrants coming from Cuba. As you can see behind me, I'm not being mobbed by any crowds. Actually, we even saw some Orange Bowl officials out here handing out free tickets to people.
Well, we had anticipated some horrible traffic problems around downtown Miami. Let's check in live with Sky 10 over at all. Biscayne Boulevard, we do know, is closed down between Northeast 11th Street and Southeast 2nd Street, but where we're looking right now along the I-95 corridor, everything moving along just fine, but 2nd Avenue exits off the I are closed as well. Also, traffic beginning to build along the MacArthur, we're told, as well as the Julia Tuttle causeways.
The crowds on South Beach have been growing all day long in preparation for tonight's festivities. Kelly Cobiella is live tonight on Ocean Drive, where I'm sure you've met some interesting people. Kelly?
Oh, absolutely we have, Kristi. Actually, things are kind of switching gears here now on South Beach on Ocean Drive. We're going to show you some video we took before the sun went down. We will keep you keyed into everything happening here on Ocean Drive and South Beach, but for now, we're live in Miami Beach. I'm Kelly Cobiella, Channel 10 Eyewitness News.
And everybody wants to be on TV with you. All right, Kelly. And from South Beach, we head north now to Matt Lorch, who's in Fort Lauderdale. Matt.
Happy New Year, Kristi. Go ahead and take a look. Downtown Fort Lauderdale, Bouvier Park have been transformed into a carnival. You can see people are now starting to show up, and this could be the busiest tent. This is the bar tent, and this is my good friend Barbara, and it looks like you threw on a tux for the event tonight.
Yes, I sure did.
You guys ready for the event?
Yes, we are. We're
plenty of champagne, I see.
Plenty of champagne, see? Boxes. We have a whole truck of beer.
We're live in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Matt Lorch, Channel 10 Eyewitness News.
We need lots of designated drivers as well. Yes. Well, many people are already out on the town, as you saw, and many more are headed out.
And we do know there's no chance of rain, but what about a sweater tonight? Is that suggested, Don? No?
It wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if you're going to be out past midnight. We're looking at the cloud cover. Yeah, we do have a little bit of clouds across South Florida, a little bit in the Gulf of Mexico, but that is about it.
Well, Doug, as you've been saying yourself, Miami Beach police are operating today on 12-hour shifts. The shift changed at 6 o'clock. and we have just now gotten a report on how the first 12 hours went. The Bravo shift, they say it was smooth.
The team to trust in 2000.
Live from around the world, a celebration of the millennium. This is ABC 2000. With Peter Jennings at ABC 2000 headquarters in Times Square, Barbara Walters in Paris, Diane Sawyer in New York, Charles Gibson in London, Cokie Roberts in Rome, Elizabeth Vargas in Sydney, Connie Chung in Las Vegas, Deborah Roberts in Orlando, Jack Ford in Times Square, Carol Simpson in Chicago, and Sam Donaldson at the Y2K Command Center in Washington. With our correspondents spanning the globe in Shanghai, Bombay, Bethlehem, Moscow, Havana, Rio de Janeiro, and across the U.S., reports from Miami, New Orleans, Tucson, Los Angeles, San Francisco. And in New York, Dick Clark counting down to the new year in Times Square. Special Millennium performances by Billy Joel, Elton John, Enrique Iglesias, Faith Hill, NSYNC, Fish, The Bee Gees, Aerosmith, Blondie, Bonnie Raitt, Neil Diamond, Harry Connick Jr., Kenny G, Ray Charles, The Eagles, Barry Manilow, David Blaine, and Barbra Streisand. Now, from ABC 2000 headquarters at Times Square in New York, Peter Jennings.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to our Millennium coverage. This is normally the time when World News Tonight goes out to much of the country, but as far as the people here are concerned, and in fact in most of the world, there's only one great story today. What's right with the world as the century ends and the new one begins, and of course what has been left undone in this century to still be accomplished in the next century. So if you're just joining us, coming home from somewhere, I would try to bring you up to date with some of the other news. There's been an enormous amount of pageantry in the world, but there have been no Y2K problems that we are aware of.
Dan Rather reporting from Times Square, New York. Good night, good luck, and have a happy new year.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Feet. That will be as Big Ben is chiming midnight. And then after that, there's going to be about 15 minutes of fireworks. The Britishers say this is, modestly say, this is the largest fireworks show in the history of the planet. They have 39 tons of fireworks. They're going to set off 45 major fireworks every second. So we have 1 minute to go. This is going to be quite a show. Now, Big Ben has a little bit of preliminary music that comes just before the bells start to bong. That is going to start shortly, and then the Britishers say will come the silence, which is about 1 or 2 seconds before you hear the 12 bongs of midnight. And as that begins, the river of fire will extend right up the Thames River. As we say, the crowds are very thick. The mood is very anticipatory. This should be quite something to see.
Mrs. William K., Dr. William K. Mr. and Mrs. James Lozano.
Tonight, the cloud
clock is ticking. The world is waiting. And South Florida is ready to party. A network of 19 reporters fired up and ready to go. We're covering the bash on the beach, the fun in Fort Lauderdale, the crowd in Coconut Grove, and the movement at MIA. The night team covering South Florida and the world. It is the night of all nights. Get ready for the new Millennium on the big show. This is a special edition of 7 News. The new Millennium.
And this most certainly is the night of nights, and South Beach seems to be the place to be, at least in South Florida. Live pictures tonight from Ocean Drive where thousands of people are getting ready to ring in the new Millennium.
And as we speak, the stage is set for Kimani, son of legendary Bob Marley, and South Florida's own John Cicada. You're looking live where thousands have been waiting all night for this event. Kimani taking the stage.
This is the scene now in Times Square, New York, of course. 2 million people there, a record. In fact, this crowd was so early and so large that about 3 hours ago, they literally had to shut down Times Square.
And we now have an opportunity to take you live to Chile, Santiago, to be more exact. A beautiful historical city. And there, see officials bringing in the new year right at the midnight hour there at this moment. And there it is, the official clock for you, just 1 hour, 57 minutes, and the seconds are counting down. That's all we have to go. Good evening again, and welcome to this special edition of 7 News at 10.
Yeah, in about 3/4 of the world, the new year is really already underway, and well underway, and we're happy to report without incident, Y2K bug or otherwise. But here at home, it's really just getting started for you.
We have a network of 19 reporters ready to go for you, beginning with 7's Belkys Nerey in the thick of it on South Beach. Belkys?
I can't hear you, but I guess it's my turn to talk. It's getting a little nuttier out here, as you can see. It's a little crazy with the party animals out here on South Beach like they are all the time.
Now let's take you to the more traditional part of what goes on in South Florida at Bayfront Park.
Exactly, and that's where Brian Anders is standing by live. Brian?
Well, I tell you, everybody who went to the parade tonight apparently spilled into Bayfront Park, where right now they are listening to what's going on the stage.
Well, actually, we're going to go just steps away, right to the American Airlines Arena, the big concert. Richard Lemus, there you are for it all.
That's right, and this concert starts in about 25 minutes, and as you can imagine, that's when Gloria Estefan will be taking center stage here at the American Airlines Arena.
There is a trend taking place in South Florida. More and more people, including partygoers, are gravitating toward Broward County.
And that's exactly where the night team's Diaz is, live for us along the very populated Riverwalk right there in Fort Lauderdale. Diana?
I tell you, the excitement is building here along Bouvier Park and along Riverwalk here in Fort Lauderdale. The band is on stage heating up, and everyone here is ready to welcome in the new Millennium. We're live in Fort Lauderdale. Diana Diaz, 7 News Night Team.
All right, Diana, and in our endless search for the biggest of parties, we take you back to Miami-Dade.
Yeah, Lynn Martinez standing by. This one has not come about without controversy, though, huh, Lynn?
Absolutely, Rick. I can barely hear you. Chris Pacello owns this club. Is actually is hosting this party tonight. Of course, Chris Pacello, owner of several clubs in South Beach, has been charged with many things, and he's in jail tonight. Reporting live in Miami, Lynn Martinez, 7 News 19.
All right, Lynn, now with or without a drum roll, we take you to the mother of all parties.
Oh, right up the East Coast, New York City, of course. More specifically, Times Square. Hundreds of thousands gathering. In fact, the unofficial count is more like 2 million. The night team's Alisyn Camerota is right there in the thick of it. Alisyn?
The police have cleared out that area very briefly, made sure there was no threat, no bomb, and then people have been able to fill back in. So it's gone really well here so far.
All right, we'll keep our fingers crossed that it stays that way. Alisyn Camerota following that story for us from Times Square.
And right back here at home, certainly not anything to do with terrorism, but one minor problem coming up with a fireworks barge. 7's Ralph Rayburn is out there over the scene for us. Ralph, what's going on?
Well, we'll call this the pre-Y2K glitch, the first one that we've seen here. Let me just push the camera in here if I can get it to start working here.
Live from Times Square, here is Tom Brokaw.
We're getting down to the serious countdown now, about 90 minutes away before that Waterford crystal ball will drop here in Times Square, marking the stroke of midnight, the beginning of a new century, the beginning of a new millennium in the United States. there are about 2 million people who are gathered in Times Square. A kind of a remarkable statistic, Katie. At the turn of the century, there were just a little more than 76 million people in this country. So this crowd here tonight represents close to 3% of what the population was just 100 years ago. It has grown since then by 3.5 times. It is now almost 300 million people. And that's one of the concerns that we'll be having in the 21st century. Where are we going to put everyone?
Gloria Estefan, wish I had her energy just about now. She's performing live, obviously, in Miami at the new American Airlines Arena. You know, a lot of people planned well in advance for what they were going to do New Year's Eve as we ushered in.
Greta and Jennifer Valapi back with you in Miami. We continue to watch the Gloria Estefan concert.
Yeah, we're going to break into interrupt Katie and Tom for a little bit and bring you more of this delightful evening as we usher in the new millennium. Stay with us.
But meanwhile, we have NBC correspondents positioned all across the globe. We're going to check in with some of them now, starting with David Bloom, who joins us from the mall in Washington, D.C. Hi, David.
Hi, Katie. Well, of course, the ball will be dropping in New York City, but here in Washington, D.C., the fireworks will be exploding. We're talking about security earlier, and interestingly enough, here in Washington, D.C., they've essentially abandoned their security concerns, at least as it relates to the general public.
That's what's happening here in the center of Boston. Let's see what's happening down south in Miami Beach with Kerry Sanders. Hey there, Kerry.
Hey, Rahema, Happy New Year. They're saying here Y2OK, and that's where Ann Thompson is. Feliz Año Nuevo, as they say here in this city, with a Latin beat, Ann.
That's the story from Chicago. Now let's check in with Fred Francis in Las Vegas. Happy New Year, Fred.
And to you, Ann. Here in Las Vegas, security hardly visible on the street. Tom?
Thank you very much, Fred Francis in Las Vegas. Think about that, just 100 years ago, even less than that, and as a matter of fact, that strip of desert in Nevada was occupied by little more than coyotes and jackrabbits. Now it's the fastest growing city in America.
With more than 50 years experience serving South Florida, this is WTVJ NBC 6 News.
The countdown is on to the year 2000. There's electricity in the air on South Beach as thousands celebrate in the streets.
In downtown Miami, crowds have been dancing to the music all night long. Now they're waiting for the star of the show, Big Orange, to climb high over the skyline.
And it wouldn't be a South Florida-style celebration without Gloria Estefan. Tonight, she's rocking the house at the grand opening of the American Airlines Arena.
A New Year's Eve tradition was celebrated in grand style on Biscayne Boulevard. This is a look at the annual Big Orange Parade, which many of you saw live right here on NBC6.
And in Fort Lauderdale, the party spread from the Riverwalk to Bouvier Park, up and down Los Olas, and even onto the beach.
And right now in the Big Apple, despite fears of terrorism and possible violence, people from around the world are jammed into Times Square. Truly an incredible sight to watch the crystal ball descend at the stroke of midnight.
Good evening, everyone. It has certainly been a year of buildup, a year of planning and anticipation, and now the new millennium is almost upon us.
2000 has already arrived in China, Europe, and South America, and you can count down the minutes and seconds with us on our countdown clock at the bottom right-hand part of your screen, 58 minutes and counting. We have a team of reporters across South Florida covering this last night of 1999 and the beginning of the new millennium.
We're at the hottest parties, the biggest street celebrations, and even at local Y2K headquarters. We begin tonight with NBC6's Ari Azer. He's live on South Beach, where you know the party's going strong, Ari.
Jennifer, it's really hopping now on South Beach as we get closer to 12 o'clock, and people are having a good time on South Beach.
live here, Ari Alzer, NBC6.
All right, Ari, thank you. Diamond Lil may be my new favorite person. There's another huge street party underway in downtown. Willard Shepard is live at the Big Orange Bash.
That's right, Tony. Let me show you the orange ball right here behind me on the Intercontinental Hotel. It is moving up towards the top of the hotel.
And the grand opening of the American Airlines Arena, and if you were watching it here just a few minutes ago, not too long ago, that looked like a fabulous concert, Martha.
Jen, you're absolutely right. What a party. I don't know if you can hear it, but the helicopters are hovering overhead as thousands of people are inside listening to Gloria Estefan. Happy New Year's to everyone, and especially to you, Tony and Jennifer. Back to you.
Martha, thank you. Of course, the nation's biggest celebration is in full swing in Times Square.
Thanks, Connie, very much. I wanted to make a point of mentioning the people who don't necessarily get on television on this very important New Year's Eve, but there was this demonstration against war, as there have been in other places around the world today out in the Nevada desert. And indeed, these are the quite extraordinary dancing waters set to music. Square in San Francisco. Vegas. Union Square in San Francisco. To Los Angeles, lest we forget, the lighting of the Hollywood sign. The Hollywood sign is back. Jay Leno and friends.
Yes. Yes, yes, that's what I said. Feliz Navidad.
To Las Vegas.
Brighter, the stars or the star-studded nights.
Peter.
Come find a brand new girlfriend or bring your wife. Las Vegas will light up your life.
Union Square in San Francisco again. Says it for itself.